Should you buy a house now? There are a few things to consider before you buy a house. My name is Keanna Barnes. I am a broker associate out here in Los Angeles, California. So let's get right into it. If you're thinking about buying a house now, there are a few things you should look into. First, do you want to buy a home or do you need to buy a home? Because it all depends. A lot of people tell you it's always the right time to buy. It's always the right time to buy. But it may not necessarily be the right time to buy for you. Do you need to buy a home? Sometimes you may be relocating. You may have some type of life change that prompts that change and you may need to purchase a home. Or maybe just your rent is just too high, okay? Rents are going up. If you buy a home with a 30-year fixed mortgage, your mortgage is going to stay the same for 30 years unless you refinance or you have something else that comes up for some reason, which it shouldn't, other than maybe your property tax to go up. If you refinance, of course, your payment will change. But if you can afford the payment, that's another thing. Number two, to consider. If you get pre-approved, that's one thing. You need to make sure that you can afford it. Can you afford it? You get pre-approved with the lender, no matter what the interest rate is, because interest rates are kind of, bananas right now compared to where they were a few months ago, this year. But if you can afford the mortgage, the principal, the interest, the taxes, the insurance, and you're comfortable with the payments, why not buy? If you have a desire or a real need to purchase, okay? Just as long as if you take out the equation of interest rates, as long as you are comfortable with that payment and you can pay easily without scrounging every month, hopefully you're not living, paycheck to paycheck and just trying to keep your head above water. But if you can if you are comfortable with the payment, then you should definitely look into purchasing a home. Okay. Now, another thing to look into is if you have saving, how do your finances look? Okay. Do you have savings? Because if you put all of your money into purchasing a home and you don't have anything left, you may be left with a home with no furniture. You may be left with a home that has some type of the hot water heater breaks, and then you're like, well, who's supposed to pay with that? So you're trying to call a landlord, and then there is no landlord when you own a home. Okay. So you will have to come out of pocket to pay for those items unless you have some type of home warranty that covers it or some type of insurance that covers it. You want to make sure that you have some type of emergency fund for yourself even after you purchase. So do you have enough money for a cushion in case you fall onto some hard times or something? Just make sure that you're prepared. And that's whether you're renting or purchasing a home, you should always have some type of cushion there, because you just never know what's going to happen. Okay. You also want to make sure that you get your finances in as tip-top shape as you can. Have you saved for a down payment? Of course, your down payment does not have to be 20%, which can get to be a lot, especially out here in California, where the homes are, the average home is over 700,000. I believe it's 720 right now in Los Angeles area. Okay, so you definitely want to make sure that you save. Even if you get a conventional loan for 3%, 5% down, or if you get an FHA loan for 3.5% down, you want to make sure that you save not only for the down payment, but also for the closing costs. Now, when you're in the higher interest rates, sometimes you have leverage to negotiate with the seller of the home that you're purchasing to get the seller to either pay down your rate with the rate buy down, which I can discuss in another video, or you can have them to contribute to your closing costs to help to offset some of the payments. But that is a case-by-case basis, depending on how willing the seller is to negotiate and how good your real estate agent is at negotiating those items for you. Okay, which it all really depends. It's just no two situations are the same. You just never know what that seller is going through with that home, if they are desperate to sell or if they can say, you know what, we're not giving anything and That's that. So, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you need to make sure that you're covered, because nobody just said, oh, I have too much money. Like, no, if you saved enough money for your down payment and for your closing costs, and if the seller happens to contribute to closing costs, then hey, you just have extra money that you set aside for your home purchase that you can buy now that nice sofa that you saw on Wayfair. Okay. I think that's it. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not it. But those are the main things you want to think about when you're considering buying a house, especially in a time where the interest rates are going up and down and up and down, and you don't know what's going on with the economy. It's a little shaky as it is right now. And as per Jerome Powell, we're going to go through a market correction, which is different from a market crash. Okay, a correction is not a crash. So you definitely want to have these things in mind when you're looking to purchase a home in markets that are not necessarily favorable interest rate wise. Okay, but even so, homeowners that are homes are being purchased and bought and sold every day. So people are still selling homes, people are still buying homes. Homeowners are still putting their homes on the market for various reasons. So you definitely want to look into the opportunity that you have in these times. So if you have any questions, if you need a real estate agent in the Los Angeles area, give me a call. If you are in a different area, you want to make sure that you also can give me a call, because I can connect you with an agent that will take care of you in whatever area you're in. I have friends across the country, and definitely want to think about these things when you're looking to buy. Also, if you don't quite have, especially if you're in a high price area like California, like New York, you definitely want to make sure that you talk to your lender about down payment assistance programs, which I talk about in another video, that I will make sure that, if you link, I'll try to link it here somewhere. But if you think that this information was helpful to you, definitely like the video and subscribe to my channel. I am going to be putting out a lot more content to help you through these interesting times that we're in right now. If you have any questions, give me a call. My name is Keanna Barnes, and I look forward to hearing from you.